have a countryside.
We have a countryside.
And that countryside has shown us that goats can be good.
Goats can be very tasty, but the way they get to your plate...
Yeah, from farm to table is a little different.
You know, I was never... Like, when they do farm to table as like a bonus, I'm like, so you've never actually seen and become friends with your food. Okay,
right.
Cool. That's you. Are you the one who starts the best conversations on Facebook, WhatsApp, or in the group chat? If so, this is the podcast for you. Hi, I'm Eva.
And I'm Don. And welcome to Chat and Bother. This is a 15-minute podcast where we start conversations and you and your circle finish them. So go ahead and share this episode with a friend or family member so they can listen to it and you can talk about it together.
Good morning.
And good morning.
So when we got married, there were some things culturally that were kind of a mismatch, right? And people talk about those things all the time.
Okay.
Let's talk about the things that matched up. When we sat and talked, and it took us a while over the last 20 years to find out how many things actually do match, because we tend to focus on differences just as people. Right? We tend to be like, oh, you know, what is the song? One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. What was that from? Was that Electric Company or was that Sesame Street?
Sesame Street.
So we tend to focus on the things that are different about each other. Mm-hmm. What do you think are some of the things that we realized we had in common over the years? I know one story that we both have in common is the goat story. We said we were going to tell it on another episode, and here we are. Here we are. So let's get the goat story out of the way and then circle back.
So
because we are in circle back season, you know.
Let's put a pin in it, circle back.
Put a pin in it.
Just for background, one of the things that we both share is that we both have country roots. Now, country for me means Central Alabama. Country for you means Tobago.
Yes. So my mom is from Trinidad and she's from Port of Spain, Belmont. So it's more of like it's more city.
Yeah.
Her area wasn't necessarily city, but she's from the city.
Right.
And my dad is from Tobago, which is the country.
Right.
Pretty much. Coming over here, they came to Washington, D.C., more city.
Right.
So that was an adjustment for my dad, but not really for my mom. She had gone to London and then to, so the city living wasn't too much of adjustment. When I reached about a little over a year, we moved from D.C. to Aiken, South Carolina. My dad was in his element, okay?
Yeah.
Because it's outside, there's a use for a cutlass that you don't have in Washington, D.C.
And the translation of cutlass to the United States is a machete.
A machete. And so y'all had machetes in Alabama.
Yeah. Well, my dad's dad, my grandfather, ran a logging business. So there was always something to cut wood.
Yes.
Around the house.
Yes. And you keep a machete for snakes.
Right.
Most likely, if you're in the woods, you need
snakes.
There's
shotguns for that.
First of all, that is the definition of overkill. But again, we will come back to not only your country roots, but why are we doing so much roots? You're doing too much
Team
roots.
Too Much?
Yes.
Oh.
Apparently it's generational.
My grandfather's face was on Team Too Much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so when we got to Aiken, South Carolina, there were a lot of things that he could do that he wasn't able to do in Washington, D.C. One of those things was to just kill animals on your property. Because he grew up fishing, and if you want chicken, you grab it by the head. Swing it. How the song go in North Carolina? Swing it around your head like a helicopter. Yes, that's what he did with a chicken.
A little snap.
Yeah, you wring his neck is what they call it. Like when my parents would say, "I'm gonna wring your neck."
Right.
I never considered
that they was going.
They were talking about
raise up,
swinging me around their head by my neck like a helicopter. But anyway, he grew up with that. Now we didn't have chickens. We didn't have any sort of livestock or anything for him to put on the table. You know, we didn't have fish. You know what I'm saying?
So he wasn't butchering too much.
No, nothing was getting butchered. But at some point, a goat made it to our property. It was a purchased goat, but it was alive. And I had never seen, I can't say that I hadn't seen it because we had cows across the street but I wasn't friendly with them. I didn't go and meet them or nothing like that. So I knew that people had animals at their homes.
Yeah.
But I didn't consider what they became.
Right.
From them just roaming around, right? I think it's a couple of guys came with one of those, it's like a trailer in the back, but it's not very high. It's like a little trailer, and it had a goat in it. They took the goat out. Now, we had pine trees, so you couldn't really hang it up to do what you had to do with it. So I don't know what kind of contraption they had put together and why it had to be killed at our house. I don't know. But they strung this thing up and they told us, don't look. First of all, I don't even know why they didn't lock us in the house. But we were in the car. They told us to just get down in the car. Me and my brother are both small enough that we could, kind of scooch down in the car. Scooch down in the car. Do not look. Of course, we're going to look. So my brother was 4 years older than me, but infinitely more aware and sensitive to things than I was. So if I'm 3 or 4, he's 8, which means he's looking at this as like he has some context for what's going on.
Yeah.
He probably has trauma behind this. I just see it as probably the weirdest thing I have ever witnessed.
Right.
And I'm like, why? So the whole time he's trying to peep to see what's going on just out of curiosity. And I'm just watching and talking because I'm going to give you commentary. Oh, so why are they hanging him up like that? So why does he have to be upside down?
Blow by blow.
Right. And so my brother, who was trying to be obedient, but is also nosy, is
like,
just
wait, what?
popping up and down like, what did you say?
Oh, no.
Oh, why are they holding him by his feet like that? Oh, so why are they holding his mouth shut like that? Man, when I tell you they chopped this thing, I said, okay. So by this point, my brother is wailing like they have killed something.
Oh, like he watched them shoot Bambi.
Right. And I am just sitting there with my tiny jaw dropped going, and the point of this would be what? Which is me today.
Right.
Why did we do this? A.
What was the reason?
And B, where is all of that going? Yeah. I don't know why we have to do that here. Next to the pool. Like, I didn't see us.
Oh, it was next to the pool?
I know exactly where it was. Like, I could walk up to the spot today.
Oh, no.
And I just couldn't wrap my mind around the purpose of such behavior.
Your house was like a paradox. I mean, we had horses.
Yeah.
There's pools.
Yeah.
There's goats near the pool being slaughtered. The slaughterhouse
as if there was not another place to do this.
Right. So for context, my dad's family has a family reunion every year. It rotates around locations, but every 4 years, they go back home to Alabama. And so this was one of those 4 years. And I can't remember, I was maybe 8 or 9. Half of that neighborhood is like relatives. So I'm like hanging out with some of my 3rd and 4th cousins, running around. We got this call. All of my cousins dropped whatever we were doing and was like, yo, let's go. I'm like, what's happening? And so I followed them. We go in through one of the neighbors' houses, into the backyard where there's like these goat pens and stuff like that.
Oh, there were multiples.
Yeah, so like this family had all the goats.
I bet you a family like that was where we got that goat from.
Right. So we went in through the kitchen and out the back door. One of the cousins that was with us, he got a chance to be the one to make the kill. So
a chance? This was a...
Yeah,
okay.
So he's got like a .22 rifle, and he's supposed to put a bullet right behind the goat's ear.
Yeah, you got to do it quick, whatever it is.
Right. He misses. And we're like, what are you doing, man?
He scared the goat to death. The goat probably had a heart attack.
Right. So I think he just injured the goat. So we're like, oh my gosh, come on, man. So they string the goat up. It's like everything starts happening so quickly. From the time that he fired that shot to the time that they slit this goat's throat, it felt like it was less than a minute. The only thing I remember was seeing all this corn come gushing out of this goat.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I was okay with all the blood. I was okay with them cutting this goat's throat. But the corn is what's making me weak. I mean, it's like I'm having the opposite reaction of the little boy from the Kong video. It's Kong! and like, I'm like,
song is so upsetting for you.
this song does not work for me. It's a lump with knobs. It's coming out of this goat. It's like the corn just didn't stop. I'm like, the blood stopped, but the corn kept coming out. And I'm like, what? How much corn did this goat eat, man? And so I'm like, man, let's go, man. And I start butchering it. I'd seen them butcher deers before, but I'd never seen that amount of corn come out of one animal before. That goat was egregiously stuffed full of corn.
Oh God. Okay.
So fast forward like 4 hours later, I have moved on from the corn, and we are at the family reunion. We are at a park. I am playing basketball. I have moved on. We go back to hydrate, and then one of my uncles was like, "Yo, try this barbecue." I'm like, "All right, cool." And I taste it. I'm like, "This is good."
Right.
And it was like, "That's that goat you ate earlier."
See,
I was
did that
like,
mess on purpose.
"Oh, word!"
They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I feel like they also like to traumatize us just a little bit. Because I don't remember eating it at all.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part of it. I just remember my brother wailing like a madman, and I'm just sitting there with so many questions. So you didn't have questions. You knew.
Oh, I knew exactly what happened. I like I said, I had watched them butcher deer before, so that wasn't the first time I saw them pull the skin off a deer. That was weird. But,
weird, you think?
Yeah, but
I would remember that. I didn't stick around because I think they heard my brother screaming.
Yeah.
And we were ushered into the home. But I remember whenever my brother would have an emotional reaction to something, when we were supposed to be hiding I would be so mad because I'm like, dude,
you messed it up. Now we
could have finished watching I don't know. I need to know what's next. But you having a whole breakdown out here. They probably thought I was a psycho.
Because the boy is sufficiently traumatized because there's blood all over the place.
Right, and I'm like, no, but what are y'all going to do with it? I need purpose. I need explanations. And he is just wall sliding down the side of the car, being helped into the house. And I'm just like, so we both got to go? Because it really looks like it's just him that has a problem.
Right.
I'm fine.
Like, I'm all right. I'm good. So I guess to sum it up, one thing we both have in common is we both have a countryside.
We have a countryside.
And that countryside has shown us that goats can be good.
Goats can be very tasty, but the way they get to your plate.
Yeah, from farm to table is a little different.
I was never, like when they do farm to table as like a bonus, I'm like, so you've never actually seen and become friends with your food. Okay,
right.
Cool. That's you. So, okay, I got to go to work. It's getting late.
And I got to go to work.
So we will have to do a part 2 of this because we really only got through one shared experience. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for Chat and Bother. Go ahead and like our Facebook page and share this episode with people that you want to chat with or just feel like bothering, or both. Visit our website, chatandbother.com, for our episode guide and other ways to connect with us. Take care.